Ebona at 103.5 FM, or you join online via mixlr.com/gistfm every Monday and Saturday. What are your political views? Keep a date.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Please like, subscribe, and share. Right, hit the subscribe button right here. Check this out. It's on Amazon.com. Hip hop and ebook culture by yours faithfully, Martin Fine Speakers. All right, you can also obtain it or get it from St. Teresa's Catholic Church, Umunna. It's also available at St. Michael's Catholic Church, Abacha. Check it out. All right, rock. Stick around for newspaper headlines.
On the morning drive. Make it a date with Martin Shuku, aka Meta.
And Tracy F.E. Emenari, aka Classy.
From Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. on the morning drive. 103.5 FM.
Good morning and welcome to Ebona Day 103.5 FM. Today, the 6th day of May 2024. Today is a Monday and the time is a minute past the hour of 7. It's time for newspaper headlines on Ebona Day 103.5 FM. This morning, we are going to take you through the news making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers. But before we do that, let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines. Please stay with us.
The National Broadcasting Commission welcomes broadcasters, content creators. The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, or organization aggrieved by the content of a broadcast or the conduct of a broadcast station may lodge a complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, number 20, Ibrahim Taiwo Street, Asokoro, Abuja, or send a mail via info@nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that the complaint includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also, remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and append your signature. Note that the complaint must reach the NBC within 14 days of the queried broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
You're welcome back to newspaper headlines on Ebona Day 103.5 FM. This morning, we are going to take you through the news making the headlines on The Guardian, Leadership, Vanguard, Punch, Daily Post, The Nation, This Day, and if time permits, we're also going to take a look at the Nigerian Tribune newspapers. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080 96661035. You can as well join us on Facebook as we are live at Ebonade 103.5 FM. Drop your comments on the comment section of the live video. I am Martin. Let's get started with the Guardian newspaper this morning. AfriSafe harps on worker safety. Guild seeks extension of Lagos Calabar Coastal Road to Badagry. Kanu governor orders a payment of outstanding allowance of street sweepers. African Development Bank to partner Ogun on special agro-industrial processing zone. BEA scholars in China, Russia lament unpaid allowance. Good governance, human rights as a panacea for socio-political stability. Adeboye urges Nigerians to live a holy life for God's favor, protection. Banks, others chop for over 3 trillion naira from broke investors. Lean market. Police arrest alleged assassin over claims of killing 500 people. Police confirm arrest of FIJ reporter Ojukwu over report. Hoodlum snatches octogenarian vulcanizing machine in Edo. Lagos begins a removal of 100 chanties under Adeniji Adele Bridge. Socioeconomic Rights and Accountability Project sues states. Wike for alleged failure to account for loans. African Union, Impact Her, signed a memorandum of understanding. Federal government states to review J-Term for suicide attempts. Northern leaders, NMPP, warn federal government against a defense pact with US, France. Lingering fuel crisis, worsening capacity utilization, productivity, says NECA. BOI, African Development Bank, orders partner to deepen digital literacy. Akinfeleye remembers wife 1 year after. Akinfeleye remembers wife 1 year after. Nigerian Air Force airstrikes kill terrorists in Mandara Mountain. North Central Group in court 6 Ganduje sack as APC chairman. Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps mobilizes 2,220 marshals against illegal mining. 6 citizen support. Why Nigerians should embrace digital innovation by Nigecom SAT boss. Tanker fire. Aleto youths read riot act to truck drivers. Hoodlums rob girl on 18th birthday at Toyota bus stop. FCT upgrades airport road infrastructure. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency arrests 5 members of International Drug Syndicate, seizes consignment. Tertiary Education Trust Fund to defund non-performing centers. Atiku raises alarm over Tinubu's son's membership of Shagori's board. Ododo visit Omala. Vows to clear all criminal enclaves. Megacity. Yusuf lays a foundation of 15 billion naira interchange bridge in Kanu. Nigerian experts to attend the blockchain futurist conference in Canada. Denmark. APW take climate change campaign to Bayelsa rural communities. Ohanes and Igbo cautioned against professing Ikweres as Igbo. On that story, Ohanes and Igbo cautioned against professing Ikweres as Igbos. The Ohanes and Igbo has been cautioned against professing the Ikwere people in River State are Igbo, a group in the state. The Iwunora Progressive Organization has criticized the president of Ohanes and Igbo, Emmanuel Iwayangu, for describing the Ikwere people in Rivers as Igbo. The group said the recent statement by the Ohanes and Igbo president during his visit to Port Harcourt last week was false and unfounded and capable of causing disaffection between the Igbo and the Ikweres. Recall that Iwayangu, during his official visit as the president of Igbo Apex organization, alleged that the Ikwere ethnic nationality in Rivers is an extended part of the Igbo, insisting that the language and culture of the Ikwere people suggests that they are Igbo. For more on that story, please get yourself a copy of the Guardian newspaper. Still on the stories making the headlines, on the Guardian newspaper this morning, Akure BAO laws Ododo on first 100 days in office. Ohaneze used to Ababio, National Assembly behind Nigeria's economic woes, not MFLA. Dependence from Nigeria to UK rose up from 1,500 to 52,000 in 3 years. A British envoy, Arewa Group, challenges Ababio's accusations against MFLA, cites a budget padding scandal. MFLA, Middle Belt youths Forum rebukes Akpabio over foamy economy remarks. Wike, other ex-governors sued over 5.9 trillion naira, $4.6 billion loans. We are finished if artificial intelligence controls humanity, says cleric. Lagos market clash. Unions threaten to cut tomato supply. Tertiary Education Trust Fund probe. Idoma shifts caution against removal of Sonny Econo. Fidelity Bank records a 120.1% growth in PBT to 39.5 billion naira in Q1 2024. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency intercepts 4,752 kg of cannabis in Abuja. Tertiary Education Trust Fund, we've taken this. Police transfer FIJ reporter Daniel Ojukwu to Abuja. NIMC lists new requirements to correct name, date of birth, others on NIN. NIMC lists new requirements to correct name, date of birth, others on NIN. Al Jazeera condemns Israel's criminal decision to close offices. NECO digitalizes recruitment of exam supervisors. Police arrest assassin over claim of killing 500 people. Nigerian Air Force killed several terrorists in Borno, Niger in airstrikes. Constitutional amendment should address real issues of development. Shehu Sani. Fubara frowns at contractors' nonchalant handling of Buri roads. Idris decries gang up against his administration's giant strikes. ACJHR annual conference to focus on vindictive practices, human rights violation in West Africa. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency crackdown on international drug ring, arrest 5, seizes parcels. And that's the much we can take from the Guardian newspaper this morning. From the Guardian newspaper, we flip over to leadership newspaper. World Cup qualifier, Eagles must beat South Africa. Benin, Finibi, Corona, Rivers Bank, others shine at Zenith Bank Inter-School Swimming Meet. E-Transact Golf Classic returns to IBB course with 20 million naira purse. Attention shifts to Obeke as a new host of Gold Label Road Race. Rivers United threatened to quit MPFL. MPFL title, not our target. Rangers. Minister lost Team Nigeria men's 4x4. 4x400 mixed relay qualification for Paris Games. Minister lost Team Nigeria men's 4x400 mixed relay qualification for Paris Games. Babayo vows to improve IBAB international golf and the country club's fortune. Nigeria's apparent jinx of darkness. Nigeria's apparent jinx of darkness, an optimistic view. Nigeria, we've taken this, setting capital market agenda for new leadership in SEC. FCMB Group's gross revenue rises to 179.1 billion naira in Q1. FCMB, we've taken this. Fidelity Bank posts 120.1% growth in pre-tax profits in Q1. Quick Teller, Valve partner multi-choice on African creativity. WACT signs 1.2 gigawatts solar power purchase agreement. WACT signs 1.2 GWH solar power purchase agreement. New Nyanya residents cry out over 8 months blackout. BOI, Bank of Industry, African Development Bank, NITDA partner to deepen digital literacy. African Development Bank, we've taken this. Providus Bank empowers 60 entrepreneurs with access to funding, market. Don't rush into businesses you know nothing about. Stakeholders warn retirees. Don't rush into businesses you know nothing about. Stakeholders warns retirees. Union Bank attains certification on data security. Shippers Council intervenes as 616 export cargoes trapped at Lagos Port. Shippers Council intervenes as 616 export cargoes trapped at Lagos Port. TCN unbundling to improve electricity access. Experts, stakeholders urge increase in productivity, reduce importation as Naira loses steam. Seplat Energy named Indigenous Oil and Gas Company of the Year. Standard Organization of Nigeria engages Ogun for CNG standardization collaboration after accident. FAAN NSA collaborate to reduce checkpoints at airport terminal. On a multi-purpose terminal receives the largest container to visit eastern ports. NERC caps power supply to Benin. Niger, Togo to meet domestic demand. NERC caps a power supply to Benin, Niger, Togo to meet domestic demand. The minimum wage issue, numbers versus value, increasing hardship in Nigeria, artificial intelligence, fear grips financial sector over data abuse, theft. NMPP cautions Tinubu against a military pact with US, France. Zenith Bank grows earnings by 189% in quarter one. E-Black 6 Code of Ethics in Music Production, Artistic Expression. Federal state governments to review sentencing for suicide attempt, AGF. Budget pardon left hole in Nigeria's treasury, not Emefiele Arewa youth tells Ababio. Budget pardon left hole in Nigeria's treasury, not Emefiele Arewa youth tell Ababio. Vice President Chetima off to America for US Africa Business Summit. Socio-economic rights and accountability project sues governors. Wike over 5.9 trillion naira, $4.6 billion loans. Your attempt to demonize Emefiele won't cleanse your baggage. Middle Belt youth tells Ababio. Emefiele, stabilized economy. National Assembly is now destroying. Ohaneze youths hit back at Ababio. Group demands restructuring of FCT traffic agency. Celebrated actor of Titanic, Lord of the Rings, Bernard Hill, dies at 79. 100 chances for demolition on Lagos Island. Team Nigeria men's 4 times 400 mixed relay qualify for Paris Olympic. Police arrest man for alleged theft of worshippers' 7 phones. 2 suspects in police net over missing 200 level Delta Varsity students. Insecurity will escape peace marshal across southeast Kalo. Insecurity will engage peace marshals across southeast Kalo. Accra confirm ACJNHR Mo's declaration of Emefiele's trial political prosecution. Accra confirm ACJHR Mo's declaration of Emefiele's trial political prosecution. NHRC reaffirms a pledge to protect press freedom in Nigeria. Nigerian Air Force strikes terrorists hideouts in Niger. How I killed my cousin, 4 others for ritual, fruit seller. Why we limited students visa dependents to PhD candidates only, UK envoy. Why we limited students visa dependents to PhD candidates only, UK envoy. Police arrest man for alleged theft of worshippers' 7 phones. Insecurity. We've taken this. NHRC reaffirms a pledge to protect press freedom in Nigeria. That's the much we can take from the leadership newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the leadership newspaper. We'll flip over to the Vanguard newspaper. Kidnappers slip off after abducting pastor's wife, others in Ondo. Contingency withdrawals hit micro pension funds. Lagos Calabar highway red flag. Tinubu's personal business. Atiku. Why I killed my cousin, 4 others for ratios. Suspect. Marketers remain unbeat as petrol scarcity enters third week. Kidnappers slip off with 13 days. Forest turnover in NAFEM falls 37% to 3.47 billion naira. Forest turnover in NAFEM falls 37% to 3.47 billion naira. Equity investors are positioned ahead of dividend earnings, gain 811 billion naira. Local firms, IOCs to bid for 12 onshore, 7 deep offshore oil block 2023. Why INX servers are paid to work? P2B. Lagos Calabar, we've taken this. King Gibe praises charts progress ahead of historic presidential election. Constitution amendment, power devolution, electoral reform must be prioritized. Seusani viral list of ex-governors under investigation over alleged corruption false, misleading EFCC. Viral list of ex-governors under investigation over alleged corruption false, misleading EFCC. Northern leaders flee relocation of U.S. French military bases to Nigeria. Marketers remain unbeat as a petrol scarcity enters third week. Ojukwu's arrest. Lawyers and knock police says action raises grave concern. Insecurity. We will engage peace marchers across Southeast. Kalo, Akwa Ibom, murder of policeman. Others signal renewed terror. 2 missing as land grabbers invade Ogun community. Real estate meets entertainment, redefining the industry. Journalists hit by metal debris from ongoing construction, not stray bullet. Kanu government. Fish upgrades Nigeria's credit outlook. Northern governors went to US for ideas to end insecurity. Castina governor, rather. 50 civil society organizations to APC, PDP, others denounce your members facing corruption allegations. 50 civil society organizations to APC, PDP, others denounce your members facing corruption allegations. Graft how 58 ex-governors allegedly looted 2.187 trillion naira. Economic hardship. Massive contingency withdrawals hit micro pension funds. Forest turnover in NAFEM falls 37% to 3.47 billion naira. Equity investors' position ahead of dividend earnings gains 811 billion naira. AFCFTA competitive capacity key to market access. Manufacturers. Kofi Annan Center moves to protect women in African maritime space. That's the much we can take from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Detention. Sanwo-Olu unveils eco-care palliative measures today. NMPP faction drags Kwankwaso others to EFCC over 2.5 billion naira party fund. Federal government insists on electricity tariff hike as Labour threatens shutdown. FCTA upgrades airport road street light. Nigeria will change after 8 years. Support Tinubu before we die. Billionaire Atoeze. Wirobo youth leader urges crackdown on Delta armed groups. Anambra local government chair IPOB disagree over thugs recruitment for demolition. Rivers political crisis taught me about focus. Fubara Chetima departs for U.S. Africa Business Summit. Insurgents killed as Nigerian Air Force bombs Borno, Niger enclaves. Insurgents killed as Nigerian Air Force bombs Borno, Niger enclaves. Akpabio, Enos cordial relationship good for Akwa Ibom. NDDC boss. Ogun boost mechanized farming for food security. 19 fleeing Niger inmates recaptured. 100 at large. NCOS spokesman. Demolition over Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway bat signal to investors. Article. Showunmi eyes PDP chairmanship says party needs reforms. Showunmi eyes PDP chairmanship says party needs reform. Local government poll threatens Benue APC reconciliation. Police IMN trade wars over alleged child killing in Kaduna. NECO digitalizes supervisors recruitment. Oborowore Ibori lawmaker mourn ex-minister Gbagi. Lagos state government to remove 100 Adeniji Adele shanties. UK pledges support for federal government's Safe School initiative. Foreign scholars lament 11 months of unpaid allowances face ejection. Ex-chief of defense staff Oloni sacking installs Nigerian military school at 70. Federal government committed to protecting journalists' rights. Minister ICYMI FAAN NSA to cut security checkpoints at airports. That's the much we can take from the Punch newspaper this morning. From the Punch newspaper, we'll flip over to Daily Post newspaper. Iran, Hamas war. We will stand alone to defeat our enemies. Prime Minister Netanyahu. Fire engulfs ex-governor Chakarau's Kanu residence. Concerns as gas tanker explosion claim 13 lives and many properties in 1 week. Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway. Tinubu's personal interest behind hasty project article. Abia Monarch raises alarm over activities of fake property agents. Governor Alia pledges support for teachers. Governor Rada hails late Yaradua's legacies in public service. Governor Rada hails late Yaradua's legacies in public service. Nigerian government to review sentencing for suicide attempt. AGF Fabemi. Ekiti partners America to boost cashew production access to market. Electoral reforms. PAACA advocates stakeholders collaboration. Governor Yusuf lays a foundation of a 15 billion naira interchange bridge in Kanu. Abia forensic audit. Former Commissioner Kalu makes more clarifications. Rubbishes report. That's the much we can take from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. From the Daily Post newspaper, we'll flip over to the Nation newspaper. Rise in non-performing loans, stunted manufacturing worrisome. Rise in non-performing loans, stunted manufacturing worrisome. Chetima in Dallas for U.S. Africa Business Summit. IMF, tough time ahead for borrowers despite disinflation. NMPCL opens up reserves to quell scarcity. Minister, confident government's investment in health will improve Nigerian lives. Tinubu's son Cheyi on Shagori's board. A conflict of interest, says article. Oboruwari, Defiant, others among ex-minister Gbagi. NECO digitalizes recruitment of exam supervisors. Jagaban Apostles caution Akintoye over Yoruba nation agitation. mass com scholar Akinfeleye pays emotional tribute to wife at median anniversary. You are listening to newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. We will now go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. Please stay with us.
If you know your history, then you will know where you are coming from. And in whatever you do, seek wisdom. Knowledge is power. Inugo Maka the book, Hip Hop and Igbo Culture, authored by Martin Ifeanyi Chukwu Ekezie, number the first. Metal of Ebona, the 103.5 FM. There is a great insight in hip hop and Igbo culture. You can get this book or pick it up at a bookshop in St. Teresa's Catholic Church, Omonia, or at Ebona, the 103.5 FM Ogidi. You can also get this book at the Catechist office in St. Michael's Catholic Church, Abacha, or you go to www.amazon.com, search for Hip Hop and Igbo Culture by Martin Ifeanyi Chukwu Ekezie. For further information on how to get this book, please call 080-3916-7049 or your WhatsApp 080-6579-6599.
Ndewo gị onye na-ege ntị, obi ụtọ ka m ji na-anabata gị n'ihu mma hirodo n'okwu gbasara ala na ụlọ obibi. Na nke taa, anyị na ndị ụlọ ọrụ Akụbeze Housing Estate nọ ebe a. Ndewo nwaanyị ọma.
Onye ọma na-ege anyị ntị, udo dịrị gị. Anyị bụ ndị ụlọ ọrụ Akụbeze Housing Estate. Ihe na-enye anyị ọṅụ bụ ịhụ na onye ukwu na onye nta nwetara ụlọ obibi nke ya n'ọnụ ego na-anaghị adịji aka. Isi ụlọ ọrụ anyị dị na D Signature Plaza, Unizik Junction, na ncherịta ihu Dorisha Restaurant, Ọka, Anambra Steeti. Anyị nwekwara ngalaba ụlọ ọrụ anyị ndị ọzọ dịka nke dị na Oshimiri Lane Junction, Old Road, Mkpọ, n'akụkụ ọfịs ndị Igbos Love Themselves Charity Foundation, Mkpọ, Anambra Steeti. Nwekwa na nọmba 108 Ogui Road, Enugu Steeti, opposite Nnamdi Azikiwe National Stadium. Akara ekwentị ị ga-ejikpọ anyị bụ 0906 877-9065. Gbaa mbọ dịdata ya. Ọ bụrụ na ịkpọ anyị ma anyị azaghị gị oku ozugbo, zibatara anyị ozi edemede text message maọbụ WhatsApp. Iwu bụ na anyị ga-azaghachirịrị gị. Lekwakwa akara ekwentị ahụ 0906 877-9065. Anyị nwere ala ndị bụ ezi ọha obi eru oge ala, ịrụ ụlọ, ibiri n'udo na ọṅụ, na-enweghị nsogbu ndị obodo asịkwa ndị asịrị. Mba, anyị na-akpachapụ anya hazie ihe niile gbasara ala ahụ, sụọ ya kpọm tupu anyị amalite ire.
Kedu ebe unu nwegasịrị ala dị mma maka iji rụọ ụlọ obibi?
Anyị nwere ala na Mgbakọka North dị na Anambra Steeti, 1.5 million naira. Nwekwa na Achalauka North, 1.4 million naira. N'Oji River, ala anyị nwere na-agara gị n'ọnụ ahịa dị ala 550,000 naira. N'Obe Community, opposite Estate University, Agbani, ị ga-enweta ala anyị n'ọnụ 8 million naira. Ịchọọ igote ala n'Ugbo Ọka beside Renaissance University, Ugbo Ọka, Sọfet bụ ihe sepetịrị ala anyị ga-enye gị na yunivesiti ahụ 3.5 million naira. N'akụkụ Maduka University, Ekpegbe, Enugu Steeti, 3.5 million naira. Abịa n'Imo Steeti, anyị nwere ala n'Ọgbakụ nke ị ga-enweta n'ọnụ ego egburu na ntụ 3 million naira. Ihe o jiri maa mma nke ukwuu bụ na ala ndị a bụ ịzụtara aha, ịmalite rụbara onwe gị ụlọ ozugbo na-enweghị ndị ga-abịa ịjụ gị ese ma ọ bụ nyewe gị nsogbu.
Ị na-akọwa na onye zụọ ala na Akụbeze Housing Estate rụọ ụlọ ya ejirizi anya ya abụọ hiriwe ụra?
Anyị na-atụ anya n'ala, jụọ ese, nweta akwụkwọ zuru oke tupu anyị etinye isi na ihe gbasara ịgo ala, nke bụ na igote ala n'aka Akụbeze Housing Estate. O nweghị onye gị na ya nwere okwu. Ị nwekwara ike kwụọ ụgwọ otu o siri masị gị ugboro tupu ịkwụsọpụ ya. Ịbịa, anyị na gị gị ya gbatịkwuru gị oge ị ga-eji kwụọ ụgwọ ala ka ọ dịrị gị mfe wee bụrụzie landlord maọbụ landlady n'otu ntabi anya na Akụbụeze Housing Estate. Ihe na-akachasị enye anyị ọṅụ bụ ịhụ na ị nwetara ala ahụ bụ ebumnobi gị ị ga-eji rụọ ụlọ ọnụ ọchị awa gị. Ngwa kpọtụrụ anyị n'isi ụlọ ọrụ anyị nke dị na D Signature Plaza, Unizik Junction na ncherịta ihu Nọrisha Restaurant, Ọka, Anambra State. Chetakwa na ngalaba ụlọ ọrụ anyị dị na Oshimiri Lane Junction, Old Road, Mkpọ, beside office ndị Igbos Love Themselves Charity Foundation, Mkpọ, Anambra State, nakwa na nọmba 108 Ogui Road, Enugu State, opposite Nnamdi Azikiwe National Stadium.
Ngwa kpọpụtagharịkwa ebe ndị ahụ unu nwegasịrị ala ọzọ.
Anyị nwere ala na Mgbakọ Ọka North nke dị na Anambra State. Ị ga-enweta ya na 1.5 million naira n'acha 1.4 million naira. N'Oji River, 550,000 naira. N'Obe Community, opposite FCT University, Agbani, ị ga-enweta ala anyị n'ọnụ 8 million naira. N'Ugboka, beside Renaissance University, Ugboka, so fence bụ ihe separate anyị na University, 3.5 million naira. Maduka University, Ekpegbe, Enugu State. N'akụkụ Maduka University, Ekpegbe, Enugu State, 3.5 million naira. N'Imo State, Ọgbakọ, ị ga-enweta ala anyị n'ọnụ 3 million naira. Akụbụeze Housing Estate. Ihe na-enye anyị obi aṅụrị ị nọrọ nke ọma n'ọdụ ọfụma dịka landlord maọbụ landlady. Lekwa akara ekwentị anyị, gbaa mbọ dịdata ya 0906 8779065 0906 8779065.
Imeela maka ịbịa nọnyere anyị n'ihe omume a taa. Ndewo.
Ekene m unu.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebonadi FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be.
Government.
Street report is here to make sense of it all. Street report is causing social change across your streets. In your community. Street report is here. Hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin as number the first every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Ebonadi 103.5 FM as Street Reports on Fools in your face. On Emas and Ebonadi corner 24/7, 24/7.
You're welcome back to Newspaper Headlines on Ebonade 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-96661035. You can as well join us on Facebook as well live at Ebonade 103.5 FM. Drop your comment on the comment section of the live video. You can equally stream us online via mixlr.com/gistfm. I am Martin, and we are on to the Nation newspaper. Rivers Anglican Diocese backs state police. Akwa Ibom lawmaker canvasses laws to enhance journalism practices. Akwa Ibom lawmaker canvasses laws to enhance journalism practice. Oyo partners Shell Nigeria Gas to build gas distribution network. Mende Villa residents served demolition notice twice, says Wahab. Mende Villa residents served demolition notice twice, says Wahab. Ondo 2024, APC chieftain donates campaign materials to Ayedatiwa Obuku. Applause Akpabio for uniting Senate across party lines. Lagos government will assist family found under Dolphin Estate Bridge, says Commissioner. Group berates Adeleke for adding personal symbol to Osun State logo. Why Nigerians must utilize the digital transformation to unlock economy by NIGECOMSAT boss. Chad election. Don't jeopardize your sacrifices with violence. King Gibe once. And that's the much we can take from the Nation newspaper this morning. Stellar stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the Nation newspaper. We'll flip over to this day newspaper. CDK article accuses Tinubu of a conflict of interest, alleges son's affiliation with Chagori. Zenith FinTech subsidiary, Zempe Limited partners African Development on innovative trade portal. Zenith FinTech subsidiary Zenpay Limited partners AFCFTA on innovative trade portal. ACJHR accuses federal government of persecuting MFLA over multiple trials, divestment. Oando to double crude output to 50,000 barrel per day after any revival of local pharmaceutical industry will reduce the cost of medicines. Alleged marginalization. Ishekiri Ijo Ilaje graduates threaten shutdown of Chevron facilities. Alleged marginalization. Ishekiri Ijo Ilaje graduates threaten shutdown of Chevron facilities. Press freedom. Isiguzo urges media stakeholders to defend rights of journalists. Nigeria links up with 15 African countries to join Afrexim Bank's fund for export development. Nigerians grown as commodities, services, other price increases hit decade high. Quarter 1, 2024, Fidelity Bank records 120.1% PBT growth to 39.5 billion naira. That's the much we can take from the This Day newspaper this morning. From This Day newspaper, we'll flip over to Nigerian Tribune. JCI Oluyole embarks on PETs for diapers project in Ibadan. IIRO workers support HEDA's old dump site allegations. Philanthropist saves Opara. NYLC orientation camp from erosion. Japa, only doctoral students can bring in dependents to UK. Envoy, private sector participation key to unlocking business opportunities in Northeast. Nimasa. Stop parading yourself as a National Union of Road Transport Workers President Group warns Barua. Federal government urged to prioritize journalist safety. National Assembly to organize a national summit on aviation. NRM share throws weight behind Fubara governor. Swan Ibadan calls for government transparency. Ohaneze cautions P2B on Lagos Calabar Road project. Governor Ododo vows to clear all criminal enclaves in Omala. Kingsmen drum support for Econo. Tertiary Education Trust Fund boss. Federal government discusses with FEM to deploy 85,000 agri equipment. That's the much we can take from the Nigerian Tribune this morning. That will also mark the conclusion of all that we have for you on this particular edition of newspaper headlines on Airborne at 103.5 FM. We'll now flip over to our WhatsApp portal for reactions. From our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message. It's coming from Augustine Ezenwaka from Umweze, Umunachi, and he says, why is it that our president, who was sworn in almost a year now, shown nationwide tour, which every elected president normally does to familiarize with his subjects and know the challenges facing them. In fact, if he actually has his subject at heart, he would not need advice on this. He has visited over 10 countries without normally visit his own people. His own route in this country is Abuja, Lagos, Abuja is unfair. How can a president who has spent a year in office is yet to familiarize with his subjects is unfair? Because according to the sayings of our people, beauty of a person begins at home. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It is coming from Comrade Manley Oduogo from Odumobosi, and it says, Nigeria is a plurality complex of a nation engulfed in various problems, economic, political, and what have you. The truth is that 90% of Nigerians are laboring for just 10% who are holding us hostage economically. Inflation could be caused by the purchasing power of our money going down as more naira flood the existing pool of money, which means the prices of many essential products such as food, fuel, and services are on top of the Iroko 3 as more naira chase the same amount of goods. He says that presumed appreciating naira has no effect. Truly, inflation is an invisible tax which is added to the poor, elderly, savers, low-income workers, and fixed income retirees. Our president and his economic managers cannot solve this problem by using the same kind of thinking they used when they created them. Today, this is the real tragedy. Fellow Nigerians, believe it or not, it seems to me a grand conspiracy of wealthy 10% Nigerians against the 90% suffering Nigerians. Now for Niger, Comrade Manly Uduogo from Udumobusi. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message. This one is coming from Honorable Obasi, aka Authority More Than Power, and it says Governor Soludo solution ordered for mass burial or on abandoned deceased or abandoned corpse in the mortuary at or Odumegu Ojukwu Teaching Hospital, Amafo in Anambra State. It's a welcome development, and also as you can see, there is need for new law. If there is no law for this kind of effect of to abandon corpse in the mortuary from our lawmakers, because so many hospitals in Nigeria is finding difficult to um, keep the corpse in their mortuary for a long time, and he says that can make hospital to avoid receiving dead bodies where when there is emergency. Very important. And he says almost, and he says also Army Air Force joint team killed bomb expert in IPOB camp in Imo State. Okay, we didn't hear from the IPOB side, but my advice is to make fix of the interest of people living within the vicinity, because when two elephants is fighting, the grasses the grasses around here is suffering. May God help us in Nigeria. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message is coming from Agonabo. He's joining us from Ofa Agulozibo, and he says Ohanes and Igbo saga continuous drama of where they drama of where they come from is laughable indeed, and Nigerian Air Force bombs terrorist bandits camps is a welcome development. EEDC experts in the issue of light in Nigeria is boiling point. Insecurities, it says activity in Nigeria is dead on arrival as our gallant soldiers are on the streets collecting money and maltreating the masses and the kidnapper sleeping after kidnapping pastor's wife. Is God at work? May God be glorified. Amen. We are watching as things unfold. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message is coming from Engineer Ebuka Joshua Dawson. He's joining us from 3 this morning, and he says socio-economic rights and accountability project sues Sani Wike orders over failure to account for 5.9 trillion naira, $4.6 billion loans. Publish agreement is a welcome development. This is a good right dance to bad rubbish. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message is coming from Chike Obata from Obinetiti Okozu, and he says, yes, fuel subsidy removal is worsening everything in Nigeria. Please let me ask this question: Ikweres, are they not Igbo? Are they Igbos or not? Or Hanese, why are they cautioning P2B? Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message is coming from T-Man from Ikem Ifite Nando, and he said, let Akpabio bring his facts out against Emefiele. This is a case of a pot calling kettle black. Akpabio also left a bigger hole in the treasury of Akwa Ibom State. Hatred and sentiments can never allow us grow. Let's stop fake criticisms. After all, Emefiele was dancing to the tune of the then president, T-Man from Ikem Ifite. Nando, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message. It is coming from Ogugwa Kenneth to Okuchukwu from Umuoba Anam, Umuoba Anam, Umuoba Lishi Kingdom. And it says EFCC should give account of the money they have generated from the looters and where the money goes. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. From our WhatsApp portal, we'll flip over to our Facebook portal. This morning, we have this message. It's coming from Ozo Francis Nnamani from Amagunze in Enugu State. And it says, the federal government should do everything possible to address the current fuel scarcity in the country to ameliorate the plight of the poor masses. May God help us. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message coming from the youngest Frayo, and he says, Happy New Week to you all. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning, youngest Frayo. Well, this is the spot where we'll call it a day on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your way weekdays in the morning once it's 7 o'clock. So keep it. And don't touch the dial of Ebona, the 103.5 FM once it's 8:20. This morning, we'll be back with Birthday Splash. Till we meet again, I am Martin. Have a fabulous morning.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebona FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be. Hello, government. Whatever. Street report is here to make sense of it all. In your community, Street Report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin as number the force every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Ebona 103.5 FM as Street Reports unfolds in your face on Martin Ebona the corner 24/7, 24/7.
Yeah, you got that yummy, 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 yummy.
And the children can't stop telling their parents how they feel about it.
See what you want to achieve, so I love yummy praise and I love forgive and forget. And then see I love something, love forget, I love yummy praise.
The women are not left out.
My name is Cynthia, and I love Forgive and Forget program, and guess what? I love your praise.
Hello, my name is Vivian. I love Forgive and Forget. I love to listen to your.
Hey guys, thank you. Like, subscribe, and share. Right, hit the subscribe button right here. Check this out. It's on Amazon.com. Hip Hop and Igbo Culture by Yours Faithfully, Martin Fine is all right. It's also available at St. Teresa's Catholic Church, Umone. Also available at St. Michael's Catholic Church, Abacha. Check it out. You work that.
So my name is Blessing. I love Forgive and Forget, and I love the Yummy Brains.
And the Odogus keep talking about